Alright, what is up, my friends? Welcome back to the Modern. Doing a lot of Standard lately. As I said, I won the Phantom Legends tournament on Thursday. Pretty fortunate to do that. Got lucky in a few spots, but I'll take it. Missed that. It's up on my YouTube. Check it out. Phantom Legends tournament. Great tournament series every Thursday, 2 p.m. 16-person invite-only Standard tournament on Arena. But enough Standard. We're playing some Modern today. But before we play some Modern, I wanted to go over the Modern Horizons full set. The full card list is out. Came out like a day or two ago. I actually have not seen the full card list yet. I followed the spoiler up until about 170 cards, and I've seen some stuff on Twitter, but I haven't done the actual full list yet. So I wanted to go through and do like kind of an impromptu set review. I'm not going to go through every card. I'm not going to talk specifically about constructed or limited or whatever. I'm just going to go through, talk about cards, as we see them, fun reprints, things like that. Cards I think that may be good. Cards that have a certain place in constructed. I'll be fielding your questions in chat. We're going to go through the whole card list here and do kind of an impromptu set review, if that's cool with everyone. And if it's not, I'm doing it anyway. It's my channel. I do what I want to. All right, let's go. So, starting with white. We got Answered Prayers. Whenever a creature is battle in your control, you may gain 1 life. If it isn't a creature, it becomes a creature. Alright, this has been a card for a while. There have been tons of cards like this. Halcyon Glaze. Mr. Bravado, resub, welcome back. That's whatever, common. Astral Slide is back. One of you cycle Astral Drift or cycle another card. That's pretty cool. I didn't know it triggered on itself. Cycle another card while Astral Drift's on the battlefield. You may exile a target creature. So it's basically just Astral Slide that also cycles and triggers itself. It's a much better Astral Slide. Really, really cool. I don't know if Astral Slide is a playable card in Modern. It's a pretty slow, fair engine that is good against creatures, but not good against, spell-based combo, Tron, things like that. Really cool card to have access to. Obviously, Life Malone plus the new cycling lands, or old cycling lands, is really cool. We're definitely going to play this card on stream at some point. We will try Astral Slide and try and make it work. It probably won't work. It'll be fun. Battle Screech. I love this card. Pete Ingram has made a career in the last 5 years, whenever we cube, of yelling at me to take Battle Screech out of my cube, and I just won't do it. I haven't actually cubed in a while, but I love Battle Screech. It's a very powerful Magic card. Maybe not Modern powerful, but definitely powerful. Was powerful in Standard. I first started playing Standard in this format. I had some crazy white aggro decks playing Battle Screech. Just a really powerful card. It's just essentially 4 mana for 4 1/1 flyers. It's like Lingering Souls plus Flashback for 4 mana, as long as you have 1 other creature in play. So pretty cool. It does play well with the new white pitch spell, so it's possible this could see play in Modern. Not likely, but certainly possible. Regardless, very cool card. I'll have to dig out my Judgment copies, and we'll see. Dismantling Blow, not a relevant card in any format, but a cool card in limited and silly fun formats. Good mental magic card. Any card that kills something and draws 2. I mean, it is a natural 3 for 1 card advantage, but not good enough for Modern, obviously. Slivers are back with a lot of weird abilities. I feel like they're running out of abilities to put on Slivers. So this set, they just put on all the really obscure ones. Outlast. Without looking at the card, who can tell me what Outlast does? Yeah, exactly. So, not super exciting. It's fine, I guess. It's cool for limited. Ephemerate. Exile creature you control. So, Flicker effect with Rebound. It's cute. Kind of weird art. But, Face of Divinity. Could see play in Bogles. I don't know if Goober's here or not right now. But, honestly, it's kind of close to Daybreak Coronet. Kinda. Probably not good enough. Yeah, it's not good enough. First Strike and Lifelink is good, but this isn't that much better than Unflinching Courage, which isn't very good. So, first Sliver's Chosen. Sliver with obscure ability, Exalted. It's actually pretty good because obviously if you're giving all of your creatures Exalted, that's a pretty big Exalted bonus, but whatever. Force of Virtue, the White Force, as I said earlier. Super interesting card for Modern, honestly. I think this card's being underviewed a little bit. Cards like Squadron Hawk, things like that, can help power this card. It's a free Anthem, which is pretty good. The token decks are a little slow, speeds them up a little bit. Definitely an interesting card. May not be good, but it's a card that should be looked at more closely. Beast Within in white. Alright, whatever. Gilded Light, I mean, not particularly super playable. Don't want your 2-mana card, try and counter your 1-mana Thoughtseize, doesn't really work. Giver of Runes, Mother of Runes is back. A fixed Mother of Runes in that it can't target itself. The most annoying part of Mother of Runes was that you just couldn't kill it once they untap with it. Giver of Runes doesn't have that problem, which is nice. So, definitely a good card. Very happy it's on a human. What's it going to see play in? Not sure, honestly. There aren't really many white aggro decks that aren't humans. The Death and Taxes decks are always really bad. Rashad and Port's not in the set, despite my prediction. So I don't know where this deck goes, where this card goes, honestly. But it's definitely a very good card. Imposter of Six Pride, a regular cohort, just funny changelings for limited. Changeling is a very, very good mechanic in limited. Ties together tribal synergies. I imagine there aren't a ton of tribal synergies in this set, but as I speak, King of the Pride shows up. Just a fun throwback card. LOL Savannah Lions. LOL, it's 2-1. LOL gives cats 2-1s. LOL looks like a Savannah Lions. Knight of Old Benalia. 5 mana, suspend 5 for 1 white. When it enters the battlefield, other creatures you control get +1/+1. Don't underestimate cards like this in limited. Suspend is a very powerful mechanic. You need to be playing a lot of white sources to guarantee you have it on turn 1. But, yeah, don't underestimate cards like this at all. For sure. Lance Sliver. Sliver's at first strike. That's pretty good. Obviously a limited card, but Martyr's Soul. This is an interesting card, right? People were saying I should put this card in Loxobots. 3 mana, Convoke. When it enters the battlefield, if you control no tapped lands, put 2 1/1 counters on it. So basically, if you use only creatures to pay for this, it's a 5/4. It's cute. It's cute. Seems considerably worse than Venerated Loxodon, but On Thin Ice. The snow theme. Just what everyone wanted. Everyone was clamoring for more snow cards in Modern. Go buy your Scrying Sheets now. So you enchant a snow land you control, which literally just means a basic land you control. And whenever On Thin Ice enters battlefield, exile creature goes away. So Chain to the Rocks for basic lands. It's kind of a... I think Ari Lax was complaining on Twitter how ugly the templating is on this card. It just says enchant basic land. For the most part, no one's playing that many snow lands that aren't basic lands, you know? So there's a lot of the word snow on here. It doesn't even need to be on here, but it is an interesting card. I believe Scrying Sheets finds this card, right? Scrying Sheets is snow... Yeah, any snow card. Okay. So Scrying Sheets certainly a card that should be going up in value, but it's a card. It's definitely a real Magic card. Ranger Captain of Eos. Enters the battlefield, search your library for a creature card that costs 1 or less. Put it in your hand, then shuffle. And you can sacrifice it. Your opponent can't cast non-creature spells this turn. Why is this card a mythic? What a weird mythic. Like, it's weird. Definitely a fine card. I mean, it's not as good as Ranger of Eos because it's only you only get 1 extra card. It has the silence effect. Sacrificing creatures is a pretty big cost. We already have this effect on Hope of Gearper, which is a 1 mana 1/1 flyer. So if you really want the effect, it's already there on a cheaper, more efficient card. This card's okay. Trying to do a set review.
Oh.
We're live on the internet right now. For millions of people.
Wait, did you just say we? Hi, everyone.
Me and Nicole will be on later. Nicole and I will be playing some Standard tonight.
Or we could be on right now.
Well, we are on right now.
We are on.
There's no choice in the matter.
Right.
I'm just here. I am. I'm just stuck here. But
I'm going to an ice cream social.
Yes, have fun.
This ain't no ice cream social.
Yes, Nicole and I will be on tonight playing Standard. Get ready for the PTQ tomorrow.
Ice cream social.
I keep yeah, go.
100 points to anybody who knows what that's from, by the way. I feel like it's 1,000 points. You don't even know.
Welcome to the stream where the points don't matter and the guests are made up and are walking out the door now.
I am not. All right. I'll take a hint. I know where I'm not wanted.
Nicole and I will be on later, all right? Anyway, Ranger Cap's in the UF, so yeah, whatever. That card's okay. Recruit the Worthy. Wow, it's like the rat card, but better. 1 mana buyback card. Buyback's the worst mechanic ever. It's whatever. Reprobation, enchant creature, loses all abilities. That's a coward. That's cute. That's cute. That's cute. Rocks Veteran, Battle Cry. Ooh, that's a good limited card. Wow. Tax, tap things, and Battle Cry. That's pretty good. Good butt, too. 1/1 Angel, don't care. Sarah the Benevolent is an interesting card. This card would be really, really, really good in Standard. It's not in Standard, though. It's Modern. And I don't think that a 4/4 flyer plus a Planeswalker for 4 mana sorcery speed is really worth it in Modern. I may be wrong. It's definitely a decent fair card. But realistically, this card is not super exciting. It's fine. It's definitely better than it looks, but still not good enough for Modern, I don't think. Settle Beyond Reality. Exile a target creature you don't control. Exile a target creature you control, and then return to the battlefield. So, it's a limited card. Fun flicker, removal spell. Shelter's cool. I like Shelter. Good limited card. Just nice little trick that is... This is like a bread and butter limited card for good limited players. They don't make cards like this that much anymore, but the cheap effect with a cantrip on it that you can usually use to get a 2-for-1 out of, pretty good. Pretty good. Cicely Weatherlight Captain. This is a commander card, right? Yeah, I don't really have any interest in this card. +1/+1 for each color among other legendary permanents you control. And search your library for a legendary permanent card and put it on the battlefield. Yeah, whatever. Soul Strike Technique. Enchant creature, +1/+1 in vigilance. When it dies, you manifest. This set is so complicated. Oh my god. It's just like every obscure mechanic ever printed. Jeez. Splice Overload. Buyback. Battle Cry. Oh my god. Whew. That seems fine for limited. Splicer's Skill. Make a token. Splice onto stuff. That's cute. Stirring Address. Creatures you control. Yeah, sure. Limited pump spell. Trustworthy Scout. Exile it from your graveyard. Search your library for a card named Scout. Reveal it. Put it in your hand. Shuffle your library. That card's kind of cool. Definitely a good limited card, for sure. You can splice it into Storm cards. Does that work? If I play a Grape Shot, Storm Trigger in a stack, and I splice this onto it, you don't get copies of it tokens, do you? Because it's like part of the spell now, but you're only copying... Judge. I need a Judge emote. That's a good idea. Make a Judge emote. Really? That's kind of cool. Haven't heard you say a single card is modern playable yet. Ellipsis. There's a few modern playable cards so far. Alright, well, someone in chat can find the Judge and let me know if that works or not. Scout. Valiant Changeling. This spell costs 5-month resale. Welcome back. Valiant Changeling. This spell will cost 1 less to cast for each creature type among creatures you control. This effect can't reduce the cost by more than 5. So if you have 1 Changeling in play, this costs 2. Is that correct? Vesper Lark. It's like Rebel Lark, only smaller. I don't know, there's definitely some misses in this set for me. I feel like this set's like trying a little too hard. Wall of 1,000 Cuts. Sure. Winds of Abandon. Exile a creature you don't control for each creature exiled this way. So it's Path to Exile and you can overload it. Sorcerer Speed, not super exciting. Wing Shards is kind of cute. Definitely the anti-Goblin card. Nice Goblin War Chief, LOL. That's old school. That's cool. Zephyrin Decoy. Sure. Archmage's Charm. Now we're getting to the blue cards. Now we can have a little more of a conversation, I guess, right? Archmage's Charm. Counterspell, draw 2 cards, or gain control of non-land permanent that costs 1 or less. Now, normally I'm pretty anti-modal cards. I think that typically the what you're getting for the mana is not worth it. For perfect examples, is it Charm? Faithless Looting, Spell Pierce, Shock, all good because they're 1 mana, not 2. Now, we didn't get actual Counterspell in the set, so a 3 mana Counterspell is mostly where we're at as far as hard counters go. However, 3 mana to draw 2 cards is actually pretty good. Esper Charm, pretty reasonable card in general. So the fact that this is an Esper Charm draw and a Counterspell, and that third one, that really matters. Stealing their Champion of the Parish, stealing their Death Shadow, stealing their whatever it is actually quite good too. That's a really good mode. Meaning the card can actually affect the board, where a Counterspell or card draw spell would not. So the mana cost is pretty wild, definitely doable, but this is an interesting card. I kind of like this card. This is a card I'm going to be looking into more. The format would need to get a little more fair for this card to be good, but this card is definitely pretty cool. Steals any token as well. That is true. Wow, it steals Merit Liege tokens too. That is pretty cool. That is pretty cool. So this card is definitely real, for sure. In definitely in Modern, possibly in Legacy too. It's pretty cool. Bizarre Trade Mage. This is a cube card for my cube. I like it a lot. 3/4 flyer. Draw 2, discard 3. Probably not super playable in constructed formats, I don't think. Unless there's some weird deck out there that wants to be aggro but also loot. It's too expensive to be an enabler for like combo-y decks, but pretty powerful card. So it's possible it could show up. Definitely an interesting card. Very good cube card. Aggro flyer, synergy enabler, does a lot of things. You want your cube cards to be multi-faceted. This is a good one. Grixis Hollow one, maybe. Could be a thing too. Definitely interesting. Blizzard Strix, 5 mana, flash, flying. Enters the battlefield if you control another snow permanent, exile permanent other than Blizzard Strix. So more flicker stuff and more snow stuff. Chiller Pillar. Cute. From its cocoon, a flurry takes flight. Choking Tethers. Raise your hand in chat if you remember the card Choking Tethers. That was a good limited card many moons ago. Cunning Evasion. Whenever a creature you control becomes blocked, you may return it to its owner's hand. It's a weird card. Weird card. Echo of Eons. Time Twister. Yeah, this is a wild one. This is in a lot of ways just Time Twister. And the question becomes, is Time Twister even good in Modern? We're going to find out. I mean, Connolly Woods was playing that pitch blue deck, playing Days Undoing with Narset. The fact that Narset exists makes this card pretty scary, because it stops being a Time Twister and starts being a combo card. Thanks for following, everyone. So, the presence of Narset makes this card a lot scarier for me. I don't know what's going to happen with this card. I don't know what deck wants it. I don't know if it's a deck that currently wants it. I don't know if this makes new archetypes. But this is certainly a card. They keep making Time Twister variants. They made the 5 mana Time Twister, did nothing. They made Days Undoing, did mostly nothing. So this is a card. This is a card. We shall see. Everdream. Splice onto instant or sorcery. Draw a card. Exclude. That's a magic card. A little underpowered for Modern, but pretty powerful card. Eye Kite. That's a limited card. Fact or freaking fiction.
If I'm not back in 5 minutes, just wait longer.
Fact or fiction. Now I'm dizzy. Fact or fiction is my favorite magic card of all time. Of all time. I'm going to play this card in Modern. I wrote about this card in my article when I went over possible reprints for the set. I said that it was dangerous, but definitely possible. And I wasn't really sure if it would be busted or not good enough. Modern's a fast format. It's a 4-mana spell. It's competing with Jace, Cryptic Command, etc., etc. But Fact or Fiction's really, really, really good. It's really good. So I'm going to play this card. It plays very well with Wilderness Reclamation. It's a super fun card. One of the funnest cards ever printed. Resolving Fact or Fiction piles is just awesome. So I'm pumped for Fact or Fiction. Pumped. I gotta go buy 4 Invasion copies right now. I think I only own like 1 or 2. So, yeah. Whew. Fact or Fiction. Damn. Show's over. Everyone go home. Alright, Fairy Seer. Obviously, Ninja of the Deep Hours. Yeah, just another in the long line of reasonable 1-mana with flying fairies. Force of Negation. This is a big one. Force of Negation. Force of Will in Modern. What is this card going to do? I am a little surprised that this card costs 3 mana, because cancel is not heinous in Modern. We were discussing this on the car ride back from Syracuse, and it was me, I think Pete Ingram, was it me, Pete, Ross, and Nicole, and you hardcast Force of Will a decent amount of a time in Legacy. Not often, but a decent amount of a time, and it costs 5. For 3 mana, like, Absorb is mildly playable in Modern in a control deck. So, I know it's not cancel, I know it's negate, I get it. But negate is still very, very good in Modern against all the decks you want it against. It is obviously going to be dead against a deck like Humans. For the most part, though, it is live. And this card's pretty good. If this card cost 4 or 5, it'd be a lot worse. The fact this card is very reasonably hardcastable makes it very, very good. Is this a 4 of? I'm not sure. Is this a 2 or 3 of? Maybe. I'm honestly not sure. It depends on the deck. Depends on how much card draw the deck has. If your deck has 4 Fact or Fiction in it and a lot of card draw, maybe you can play 4 because the 2-for-1 effect isn't so bad. This is a Magic card. This is definitely a very real Magic card. I feel like this set was almost printed just to put this card into Modern, to try and make the fair decks have a better chance against all the unfair decks. So this card's real. That's what I got. Future Sight, also one of my favorite cards. Really, really, really fun card. Probably won't do anything in Modern, but super fun card. Definitely some potential, but super exciting card. I think Force Negation or Dovin's Veto is better in Modern Blue-White Control. There's different cards. They're very different cards. Dovin's Veto is better in like control-y mirrors. This is better against unfair decks. Future Sight's cool though. You don't want to Force Negation a turn 1 Thoughtseize, or even turn 1 Aether Vial is not amazing. That turns the Aether Vial or the Thoughtseize into a Hymn to Torok. Your goal is to Force Negation their Karn, or their Past in Flames, or their Amulet of Vigor, things like that. Iceberg Cantrix. Whenever a snow permanent, I feel like I see whenever a snow permanent, and my mind just goes blank. I'm like, all right, whatever. Next card. Enters the battlefield under your control. You may have target player put the top 2 cards of your library. Whatever. Manowar, cute. Marit Liege's Slumber. Whenever Marit Liege's Slumber or another snow permanent up, I'm gone. Enters the battlefield under your control. Scry 1. Whenever bidding for upkeep, you control 10 or more snow permanents. Sacrifice Liege's Slumber and make a Marit Liege token.
Did I miss the red cards?
That's a card.
Let's talk goblins.
Man, yeah, we're going in order. We're in blue right now. We did white, now we're doing blue. This is actually a real Magic card. 10 snow permanents is not insane. It's only 2 mana. It's interesting. Mirrored and Besieged. This card's weird. So Mirrored and Besieged, the mirror in half, whatever. You cast an artifact spell, get a token. The Phyrexian half is beginning of your end step. Draw a card, and then discard a card. Then if there are 15 or more artifact cards in your graveyard, target opponent loses the game. This card's kind of scary. Getting that many artifacts in your graveyard is not that hard. There's plenty of Chromatic Spheres, Chromatic Stars, Eggs. You can use a card like Ethereum Sculptor to go through them quickly. Pretty scary card. And the thing is, usually these you in the game cards trigger on your upkeep. So you have to go through an entire turn cycle. Opponent has a chance to kill you and answer it. Then you untap, and then you win. This wins the game on your end step. So your opponent could literally be tapped out already. And you just like cycle some stars, play this, win the game. This card's scary. This is a scary card. This is definitely a scary card. Don't sleep on this one. It may be not playable at all, but the potential for being pretty unfair is there. Miss Syndicate Naga Nijutsu. Whenever it does combat damage to a player, create a token that's a copy of it. That's a cute card. Moonblade Shinobi. Create a token. Onerophage. Whenever you draw a card, put a counter on it. Sure. Phantasmal Form. It's on a turn. Up to 2 target creatures. Each have base. Sure. Limited card. Phantom Ninja. Phantom Warrior. I get it. I get it. Pondering Mage. Prohibit. Probably worse than most of the other options like Mana Leak and stuff. Rain at Revelation. This card would actually be really good in Standard. Like, really good. As someone who's cast a lot of copies of Glimmer of Genius and Chemist's Insight and even Inspiration proper, this card will be really, really good in Standard. In Modern, we have Fact or Fiction. So, Rebuild, man, they really hate artifacts. Like, this is like the artifact hate set. More of that coming. Scour all possibilities. Scry 2, draw a card. You know, whatever. There's an instant we could talk, but Scuttling Sliver. Untap. Smoke Shroud. Gender creature is flying. It's cute. Sure. Spell Snuff. Cancel. Stream of Thought. Weird mill card. Replicate. The blue Chain Lightning, String of Disappearances. Chain Lightning is almost costed like a drawback, right? Like, it's Lightning Bolt's too good, so make it so they can fire it back at you. This is just weird. Like, Unsummon is already not good enough. Vapor Snag's even better, and this is just worse than Unsummon, it feels like. I guess you could bounce your own stuff, but like, I don't know. Just gonna end. Tribute Mage. I'm kind of over it. I get it. They make a 2/2 for 3 that looks for an artifact of some kind. I don't know. Trinket Mage is cool. The rest of them are all kind of whatever. Twisted Reflection. It's whatever. Everyone's pretty big on Urza. I am not. I don't like this card. Like, yeah, I can go infinite. It kind of just wins the game by itself if you have a certain number of cards in play. Doesn't do much otherwise. It's definitely like Thopter Foundry, Sword of the Meek theme cards here. Let's make Thopter Foundry, Sword of the Meek really good by printing Tribute Mage and Urza. You know? I don't know. The card's fine. It's a 4-mana 1/4 in Constructed in Modern. I don't know. Watcher of Tomorrow is like a really, really good limited card. This card is good. Like, thanks for following, everyone. Just a 2/1 that draws a card when it dies. It's fine. It's a wizard. Windcaller Even. Yeah, whatever. Limited card. Winter's Rest. Snow Permanent. Flusterstorm. Feel like it was probably Flusterstorm or Counterspell. But they seem like they really want the counterspells to be good against unfair decks, not against fair decks. Force of Negation, obviously good against unfair decks. Only played in your opponent's turn, only on non-creature spells. Flusterstorm only stops instant or sorcery spells, and is good when your opponent casts a lot of spells. So, Flusterstorm, it's a card. It's kind of an annoying card, very annoying card to actually resolve. I've played on camera before. We had to like take out pieces of paper and try and like lay out who was Flusterstorming what. But it's here. I know Ross was very, very unhappy in the car ride. This card was in a set because of what a logistical pain in the ass it is. But, alright, so, black. Smoke Shaper, Jitsu, enters the battlefield, indestructible. Alright, whatever. Cabal Therapist, I cannot wait to put this card in my cube. This is a really cool card. I like Cabal Therapy a lot. I think Cabal Therapy is also a very fun Magic card. Therapy not a playable cube card though, because obviously there's only one copy of each card. But as a creature that has a playable body, this is a really cool card. I like this card a lot. Sacrifice Outlet, super super cool. Is it playable in Modern? Yes, but it would require a certain kind of deck. I'd be excited to see what kind of deck this is. But I do like the card a lot. We shall see. Carrion Feeder, one of the prize jewels of my cube. I think that Carrion Feeder, the fact that Carrion Feeder's in my cube is why my cube is awesome. Because this is the perfect kind of synergy, build around, engine kind of card that makes decks really fun. It's super awesome with Bloodghast, super awesome with Gravecrawler. It has all these cool little synergies with cards that also aren't amazing, but come together to be more than the sum of their parts. That's the kind of Magic that I love. So, super pumped this card's in the set. I don't think it'll make a huge impact in Modern, but it's a really, really cool option for deck builders to have access to. Just really cool card. Love it. Changing Outclass, so Changeling, whatever. Cordial Vampire. Whenever this or another creature dies, put a counter on each vampire you control. I mean, I don't know how much Vampire Tribal there is. It's a pretty powerful effect, but... Crypt Rats. Burnsy. Missy Burnsy. Not playable in Modern, but it's a cool card. Dead of Winter. 3 mana sorcery, all non-snow creatures. Get -1/-1 until end of turn, where X is the number of snow permanents you control. Really cool art on this card. I like the art on this card a lot. It's a powerful card. Again, it mostly counts basic lands, but there are some snow permanents, as we've seen. Mutilate, but for 3. Obviously, 3 mana for a sweeper instead of 4 is very good, so definitely a cool card. Defile. Target creature gets -1/-1 on end of turn for each swamp you control. It's interesting. I don't think it's good enough for Modern, though. If it was like X+1, then yes, but it just doesn't kill things big enough. You know, this is not going to kill a Gurmag Angler for a long time. So, cool card. I think it's going to be a very good standard card, but not good enough for Modern. We already have Edict, we have Liliana's, whatever. Unearth is a really cool ability. I used to play a really cool Unearth deck with Crypta Agadim. That deck was sweet. Sweet. Endling. They've now finished the Morphling cycle, and this one seems really bad. 4 mana for a 3/3. It gets Menace, it gets Death Touch, it gets Undying. This card seems awful. This card costs... Why does this card cost 4 and Brightling costs 3? Like, this card could easily cost 3, right? That card's really bad. Feaster of Fools. Convoke, Devour, Flying, limited card. First Spear, Gargantuan. Enters battlefield, you draw a card, lose life, limited card. Force of Despair. Force of Despair. Destroy all creatures that enter the battlefield this turn. This is an interesting card. So there have been cards like this before where it's like destroy a creature that came into play this turn. But the fact is they cost mana, and leaving mana up for them is very difficult. This is obviously a pitch card. This card's pretty good. I don't know what deck possibly wants this card. But it also is only really good against decks that are putting a lot of creatures in play at once. If your opponent goes Mantis Rider, and you're like, pitch 2 cards to kill it, that kind of sucks. But it's good against Elves, good against Affinity turns. They're like, Memnite. Venerated locks it on. That's really good against Venerated locks it on. It's a wild card. It's a very, very hard card to evaluate. We're going to see how it goes. But it is good against Empty the Warrens, that is true. Definitely an interesting one. The thing is also, to play a pitch spell, you need to have a deck that has enough black cards to cast it all the time. Good against Amulet Titan. That's interesting. Definitely a very interesting card. All the forces are very, very hard to evaluate. Gluttonous Slug, limited card. Graveshifter, a Changeling Grave Digger. I like it. Headless Spectre, when you're Hellbent, it's a Hypnotic Spectre. I mean, Hellbent's a bad mechanic. Mind Rake. This card's actually very interesting. Look at this card closely, everyone. So, 3 mana Mind Rot. You can overload it for 2 mana, so you discard 2 cards as well. That's not bad. 2 mana, I discard 2, you discard 2. From playing Dredge or some deck that wants to get cards in the graveyard. This card's a pretty real card, I think. Playing at Snaring Bridge, 8 rack. This is an easy card to gloss over, but this card may be very reasonable. Definitely interesting. Mob. Convoke, kill spell, limited card. Nether Spirit. Nether Spirit is old school. Raise your hand in chat if you remember Nether Spirit. That's even before my time. So control decks used to play no win conditions and one copy of Nether Spirit, and they would just kill you with it. Definitely an interesting card. Probably not good enough in Modern, given that Path to Exile exists and how broken the format is, but still a fun card, a relic of old times. Ninja of a New Moon, whatever. Plague Engineer. Can you believe they made Plague Engineer and didn't give us Goblin Ringleader? It's a disaster. Definitely a real card. 2/2 Death Touch for 3. Engineer Plague. This card's very real in both Modern and Legacy. Engineer Plague is a valuable card in a lot of different scenarios, and this card's also a 2/2 Death Touch, which is very good too. So this is a real Magic card, for sure. Putrid Goblin. Too stupid to survive, too dumb to die. I like it. Rank Officer, and his battlefield, discard a card. If you do, create a token. Yeah, it's a limited card. Ransack the Lab. Ransack the Lab is essentially just a black color shifted strategic planning. I'd say most decks don't want this card. This card could show up. Strategic planning has shown up occasionally in older formats, but probably not. Probably not. Return from Extinction, sure. Statistic Obsession, sure. Shatter Assumptions. People are saying this card's going to kill Tron. Every card kills Tron. Target player reveals their hand, discards all colorless non-land cards or all multicolored cards. So, pretty good against Tron, obviously. It does cost 3, and they can Karn you before you cast it on the play. So, not sure what deck wants this card. Not sure if it's better than other options against Tron, but it's an option. It's there. It exists. Flying Exploit. Yeah, it's a limited card. Siege Gang Lieutenant. This is where we get into the sad part of this spoiler. I thought for sure that Goblin Ringleader would be in the set, that they would bring some of the Goblin cards back. That's the kind of decks they want to have in Modern, the kind of decks that aren't very supported. I was wrong. Ringleader and Core Set 2020. There's a hope. So you're telling me there's a chance. Sling Gang Lieutenant. 1/1 for 4. Comes into play, makes 2 tokens. Sacrifice any goblin. Target player loses 1 life, and you gain 1 life. So it can't kill creatures. Obviously, if your opponent's life total is X, and X is the number of goblins you have in play, or less, you can sacrifice your whole board and win the game. Not a big fan of this card. Just don't think it's very good. It's 3 tokens for 5 mana, or 4 mana, and doesn't affect the board super well. So, I don't like it. Smiting Helix. A fun play on the fact that Lightning Helix and Essence Drain exist. Essence Drain is a common from Mirrodin block. 5 mana sorcery, Lightning Helix. And it's funny because the Lightning Helix effect, while damage and life gain makes sense for Lightning Helix, damage and life gain together is usually a black effect. So they're kind of poking fun at the fact that like the Essence Drain effect is a lot cheaper as Lightning Helix, but just kind of funny. And thank you everyone for the congrats on the Phantom Legends tournament. For those who don't know, I won the Phantom Legends tournament on Thursday, a few days ago. It's all on YouTube. You missed it. The entire tournament. Check it out. I played against Reed Duke and Brad Nelson and a bunch of MPL players. Got a little lucky here and there, but I won the tournament, which is great. So check it out on the YouTubes. Throat Seeker, Unblocked, Attacking Ninjas, have Lifelink, limited card. Umezawa's Charm. This couldn't cost 1 mana. No, I guess the giant card, the fact is too efficient for black. It's cool. Undead Augur is a really cool card. Hello, Karen Feeder. I have a friend for you. Undead Augur, black, 2/2. Whenever it or another zombie you control dies, draw a card, lose a life. That's a magic card. This is a Midnight Reaper for 2 mana for zombies. That's a card. Definitely a card. People are excited about Unearth. I don't think Unearth is very good. We have Claim Fame currently, and I see almost no play at all. Anyone who's tried to play Claim Fame has realized you're better off putting another threat in your deck, because when you draw Unearth with no creatures in your graveyard, you kind of want to die. Changeling. It's a limited card. Yagmoth, Thran, Physician. Pro-humans. Pay a life, sack a creature, put a counter on a creature, and draw a card. It's interesting. And then discard a card, proliferate. This card doesn't seem super playable in Modern to me. Alpine Guide's a pretty interesting card. It's a 3/3 rampant growth. It has to attack every turn, and then when it dies, you lose the land. Definitely just an interesting design we haven't really seen before. It's also a snow creature. I don't know if that matters or not, but it's kind of a weird card. Does a unique. Anytime a card does a unique effect, you usually want to take 2 looks at it. Just as this hasn't been done before. What's happening here? Let's look a little more closely at that. Area of Flame enters the battlefield. Each opponent gains 10 life. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, put a verse counter on it. Then it deals damage equal to the number of verse counters on it to target player or planeswalker. So you can kill your opponent on like turn 3 with this card with lava darts. You can just like dart them, and gut shots and flashback, and you can stack the 10 life trigger, cast spells and kill them. It's cute. It's probably not a playable card, but it's a cute card. Up a sliver with a really obscure ability. Who would have thought? Bogarden Dragonheart, sacrifice a creature, becomes a dragon. Bone Splitter Sliver is back. Functional reprint. I like it. Firebolt. Firebolt's a magic card. Firebolt's definitely a magic card. Saw a lot of play in Extended back in the day. Not really good enough for Legacy, but Firebolt's real. I know 5 seems like a lot for Flashback, but this card is definitely a real card. Is it good enough? Maybe not. But, for example, in Standard, this card would be insane. It would be insane in Standard. Fists of Flame. Draw a card. End of turn, target creature gains trample and +1/+0 for each card you've drawn this turn. Seems a little fragile. Force of Rage. So the red force. Create 2 3/1 red elemental creature tokens with trample and haste. Sacrifice those creatures at the beginning of your next upkeep. Obviously a very weird card, because it only can pitch spell it on your opponent's turn, in which case the tokens just die and never get to attack. So it's like, you can use it defensively and like block 2 of their creatures, I guess, but it's a very weird effect for a red card. I suppose in like a burn mirror, if they're like Goblin Guide, and you're like block, but this card seems really weird. It is essentially a Ball Lightning for 3 mana. It's 6 damage for 3 mana, all things being equal. So on rate, just for being hard cast, it is not the worst card, but it is definitely a very weird card for sure. A Geomancer's Gambit. Ghost Quarter Stone Rain cantrip. This card's also pretty real. If your opponent's deck is not playing many basics or any basics at all, a cantrip Stone Rain is pretty insane. It's obviously good against Tron, though I guess Stone Range is better, but it's an interesting card. Attacking draw a card onto anything needs to be looked at more closely. It's probably not playable, but Goat Nap, get it? Changelings are goats. A lot of cleverness. Raging Goblin. It's an 0/1? I thought Goblin Chain was a 1/1. This card's terrible. I guess it would be a 2/2 at Acheron. It'd be Goblin Guide, effectively. Alright, I guess that's probably too good. But, alright, Goblin Engineer. This card scares me. 2 mana, 1/2. Comes into the battlefield. You search your library for an artifact. Any artifact. Put it in your graveyard and shuffle. And you can pay red and sacrifice an artifact to return target artifact mana cost 3 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield. This can find Ensnaring Bridge. This can find Chalice the Void. The problem with these artifact finding cards, much like Karn the Great Creator, is that a lot of the artifacts they find are really lame. Trinisphere, Chalice the Void, Ensnaring Bridge. These aren't fun Magic cards. But this card lets you play one of them and then get it back pretty easily, which is kind of lame. Also good with Thopter Foundry, Sword of the Meek. Yes. There's also a lot of artifact hate in this set too, but this is kind of a weird card. Definitely, it's got a little goblin welder going on, but it's only for cheap things. That's true. You can't get Chalice. It's true. You're right. But it's just weird. Can't find Charbelcher. Fair. Flavor fail. Goblin Matron. The saddest card in the entire set because it has no good goblins to get. Goblin Matron and Goblin Ringleader are like peanut butter and jelly. And without Goblin Ringleader, Goblin Matron is not very good. No Gem Palm either. Gem Palm and Ringleader are the 2 card advantage cards that make you okay to play your 3-mana 1/1. Without them, Goblin Matron, maybe you can Dirty Kitty or something, but that deck's just so bad. So I'm sad. I'm a sad panda. Goblin Oriflame, get it? It's a joke because Orcish Oriflame in Alpha costs 2 instead of 4. Get it? Get it? Goblin War Party, limited card. Sliver with Obscure Ability. Igneous Elemental. Spell costs 2 less if there's a land in your graveyard. On this battlefield, you have a 2 damage to target creature. That's not very good. Lava Dart. Let's talk Lava Dart. Lava Dart is a very good Magic card. Lava Dart is really, really good in the mono red Prowess or Phoenix decks. This card is something else when it comes to Prowess. The joke cards are fine. I just feel like some of them are a little ham-fisted. Like, we get it. There's a certain amount of subtlety in humor, and when you go too far, it's just like, all right, we get it. You're kind of beating us over the head with it, Lava Dart's insane, though. Lava Dart's really, really good. Imagine attacking with Monastery Spear, and then Lava Darting, and then flashing it back. Arclight Phoenix. This card is definitely a real card. I tried playing the mono red Arclight Phoenix deck in Legacy just to play Lava Dart. So this card is very real. As long as Arclight Phoenix exists, and as long as the 1-drop Prowess creatures exists, this card is very, very real. Magmatic Sinkhole, Armorglyph. I know you're not around, but if you were, you'd be dead. Definitely a real card for blue-red decks looking to kill large creatures. Better than Harvest Pyre, things like that. This is a card that will show up in small numbers in blue-red decks. Orcish Hellraiser, when it dies, it's a limited card. It's a fine card. Good limited card. Orskill Guardian, costs 1 less for each land card in your graveyard. It's a little too big of a number here to be super playable, but it's an interesting card. Could cost 2 mana. A couple cycling lands, a couple fetch lands. This could be a real card, honestly. 2 mana for a 4/4 haste flyer is pretty real. So if you're playing some sort of lands kind of deck and you want to have a different plan, it's kind of cool. Mons, Goblin Legend. Whenever it or another goblin you control dies, deal 1 to any target. Sacrifice a goblin, create 2 goblins. It's alright. The problem is it doesn't do much by itself. You play it, they kill it. Nothing really happens. Doesn't really affect the board that much the turn it comes into play. It's alright. It's alright. I'm not super excited by it. Pillage, cute card. Fun reprint. Planebound Accomplice, cute Sapphire and Olive kind of card. Putting Planeswalkers in play, sneak attack, it's cute. Pyrophobia, adorable, obviously. Cowards can't block this turn. Changelings. Quakefoot Cyclops. Just a limited card. Ravenous Giant. People are complaining about this card on Twitter. I know Martin Yuza and LSV didn't like this color shifted version of Juzum Djinn. It's a card. I think that this might be touching the wrong side of nostalgia. This is just exposing the fact that Juzum Djinn is just not a playable Magic card. And while it was great in its heyday, it's no longer good. And now we're just kind of exposing it for that fact. But whatever. I don't know. Mons is good against specifically creature decks. But otherwise, Reckless Charge, super cool card. Probably won't see play, but I like this card a lot. Really, really cool card. Possible choice for the mono red aggro deck. Seasoned Pyromancer is interesting. 3 mana is a lot for a 2/2. Obviously, you get some tokens too. Definitely, it's a card that clearly has applications. The question is it better than other cards that already do those things? It is, 3 mana 2/2 with a couple tokens maybe. The exile part's really nice. I do like the extra value in a longer game for a fair deck. It's pretty cool. Definitely a cool card. What deck wants it? Mardu Pyromancer. Obviously, you could play it in like Dredge theoretically. It's like a Dredge enabler. It's like a card that's also fine if you're being graveyard hated, but that's a little bit of a stretch. It's a card. Shenanigans and Staring Bridge go to hell. I like it. I like it. 1. Resub, welcome back. Limited card. Spiteful Sliver, whatever. It's just the worst trade routes, right? Each land has cycling. I guess it gives it lands actual cycling for things to trigger off cycling, but for the most part, it's whatever. Throes of Chaos. Well, they put Cascade in a set and Retrace. I guess it's like just like the most awkward Magic card ever. It has no rules text besides Cascade and Retrace. And Retrace is like a super weird niche ability. Cascade is usually good when it's attached to other things. The fact that it's not attached to anything else, like Bloodbird Elf is good because it's a creature and a spell. This is just a spell you're getting. So, it's cute, but does not seem very good. Urza's Rage. That's kind of... I think that part of it is that damaging the nostalgia a little bit is tough. So, Choose Amdijin, Urza's Rage, these were like the cards when they were legal. You know, Urza's Rage was like a $25 card. This was like the card you could not get. You know, it was the super chase rare, Urza's Rage. And now it's an uncommon. It's not going to see play in anything. You know, and like, it's kind of cool to have it back, I guess. But like, it's just not going to do anything. Is it really like, you know, is the nostalgia of bringing it back worth exposing it for just not being a very good Magic card? When in everyone's mind, it's on a pedestal as like this insane card, but like now it's just back and not going to see any play. Like, why is it even here? You know, like what's this card even here for? There's callbacks and there's exposing old cards for just being bad. You know, so I don't know about Urza's Rage being in the set. I'm not super big on that. Vengeful Devil, very good limited card. Sand Sprinter, it's cute. Volatile Claws, sure, limited card. On to green. Bear Queen. Whenever another bear, actual bear, not like 2/2, enters the battlefield under your control, choose one, put 2 counters on it, or a bear you control fights a creature you don't control. I mean, it's cool. Like, I don't know how much bear tribal there is. Obviously, there's like changelings and stuff in the set, but it's a fun, cute card. It's cool. Seismic Assault for bears. Bear Assault. Obviously in the same color as Life from Alome, which is important because Seismic Assault obviously needed to play with Life from Alome. It was also pretty awkward mana-wise, so it's definitely a cool card. Definitely better than Zombie Infestation for sure. Better return. Hard to cast, but good. It's good. Bellowing Elk. That's a good limited card. It's pretty good. Collector Oofy. Oofy, is that how you say it? Oofy? I gotta put my nose close, I'm sorry. My allergies have not been very good. Time out. I'm good. I muted the mic for you. Looking out for y'all. So yeah, Stony Silence on a creature. They really hate artifacts. Stony Silence on a creature is really, really good. Oof. 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 This is a card. Looking for a Hateful Sideboard card. A Bear Stony Silence is a pretty good one. Aether Violable. This is a really real card in literally every format. Get your copies now. Conifer Worm. Snow Permanence. Stop reading. Crashing Footfalls. It's cute. It's a cute suspend card. Can't cast it. LOL. Probably not very good, but it's cool. Deranged Hermit. I mean, Deep Forest Hermit. Don't think there's a deck that wants this card in Modern, but it's definitely a cool card. Sure. all right, fine. You're not gonna. I mean, if you Aether Vial it into play, you don't board out Aether Vial when you board in Stony Silence, and their deck doesn't work, and your Aether Vial stops working. Whatever. You're happy with that. Their entire deck stops working. You can't use your Aether Vial anymore. Who cares? Elvish Fury. It's a reprint, right? I think so. Anerid, sacrifice a land, draw a card, Threshold. Force of Vigor. This is my preview card on CoolStuffInc.com. If you didn't see the article, I talked about it in depth. Go check it out. CoolStuffInc.com. Force of Vigor, my preview article. Check it out. Frostwalla, Snow Stuff. Genesis. Fun old card. Definitely kind of slow for modern, but kind of a fun, cool card. Glacial Revelation. Reveal the top 6 cards of your library. Put any number of snow permanents in your hand, rest in the graveyard. I don't know if paying 3 mana to get a bunch of lands is good, but Hex Drinker is kind of a cool card. Good cube card. Cube's always looking for good 1-drops, and a Savannah line with a lot of upsides, really cool. Probably won't see play in actual modern, but kind of a cool card to have exist for cubes. Corrosion Tusker will not see play, but I love Corrosion Tusker. Super cool card. Just good value. It's essentially 3 mana uncounterable draw 2 that occasionally will help you when you're flooding. I like this card a lot. Llanowar Tribe. Get it? It's 3 Llanowar Elves. Mother Bear. Really good limited card. Really good limited card. What's that card called? Grizzly Fate? A Grizzly Bear, like literal Grizzly Bear, that's also a Grizzly Fate from your graveyard is an insane limited card. Definitely a very high pick. As long as there's a land card in your graveyard, it's a big boofer and limited. Nantuku Cultivator, it's a reprint. Comes into play, you may discard any land cards, but then he counters draw many cards. It's cute. Probably doesn't do anything, but it's cute. Nimble Mongoose is interesting. Definitely a playable card, but I'm not sure what deck wants it. But it's a cool card to have access to in Modern for sure. Yeah. Regrowth, also an interesting card to have access to in Modern. I'm not sure what deck wants it, but it's a good version of the effect. This card's only restricted in Vintage because it can get back Ancestral Recall. It's definitely not too powerful by itself, you know? Rhyme Tender, untapped snow permanent, sure. Rhyme Stag, sure. Savage Swipe, kind of a weird card. Scale Up, kind of a weird card to put in the same set or same format as Glistener Elf, obviously. So I don't really know why this makes Modern better. This card is literally only going to be used to make Glistener Elf a 6/4 and kill people on turn 2. So I'm not very happy this card exists. And if it does exist, why not cost like 2? You know? But, I don't know. Spore Frog's cute. Obviously, Genesis, Spore Frog. It's an old combo. Spring Bloom Druid. 3 mana, 1/1, elf. Enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice a land. If you do, search your library for 2 basic lands. Put them in the battlefield tap. Shuffle. So it's a Harrow on a 1/1. That's interesting. Probably no decks that want that, but it's an interesting card. Squirrel Nest, another cool old card. Probably won't see play, but it's cool. Tempered Sliver. There's coming to a player. Alright, sure. Tornado. Treefolk Umbra. Enchanted creature has +0/+2 and assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. That's cute. It's not very good, but it's cute. Dash. We are hitting all of the old mechanics. Dash. Alright, it's a limited card. Trumpeting Herd. Create a 3/3 and then another 3/3. That card's really good and limited too. Possible Pauper card, maybe. Not playable Modern, but it's a cool card. Twin Silk Spider. Comes into play and make another token. It's cute. Unbound Flourishing. Mythic Rare. Let's read this one. Whenever you cast a permanent spell with a mana cost that it contains X, double the value of X. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell or activate an ability, that spell's mana cost or ability contains X, copy that spell or ability. You may choose new copies. I don't think this card is playable in any sense. It's like a commandery card. Wall of Blossoms. You already have Wall of Omens. I don't know what deck really wants this, but Weather of a Storm, adorable. Had to put a storm card in the set. Changeling. Winding Way is actually a magic card. 2 mana sorcery. Choose creature or land. Reveal the top 4 cards of your library. Put all cards in your hand of a chosen type. The rest in your graveyard. This is a card. Like, this compares pretty favorably to like Lead the Stampede in like an elf deck, like a low land count elf deck. It puts cards in the graveyard, which can be good. It's probably not like a super playable card, but it's definitely a card you should be looking at. It's interesting. If you're playing a land heavy deck, you can choose land. It could possibly bin a Life Malone. It's an interesting card for sure. If you're playing a land heavy deck, just put some lands in your hand, bin loam. It's interesting. Again, a lot of times when you're looking at cards like in a spoiler, your goal is to find the interesting cards that stand out and just file them away in the back of your head for when you might need them. All right. Multicolored. Abominable Tree Folk. This card is kind of a card. XX trample, power and toughness for a number of snow permanents. Obviously, it's mostly basic lands, but there are other snow permanents, so it could be bigger than that. It's also a Frost Titan. I mean, it'd be a good standard card. It's not good in Modern. Flying and Haste is pretty good for Slivers. That's a real card. Collecting Company for sorceries. I'm not really buying that one. That's just not gonna do too much, I don't think. Other Mari's Call is an interesting card to have. Definitely on the same page as Court of Calling. You're paying mana and you're paying for the creature. Court of Calling is very similar. Cool effect to have, though. Again, just another cool tool to have in the Modern toolbox. Etchings of the Chosen, which is a creature type. It's an anthem for creatures of your choice. It's a cute card to have exist. Fallen Shinobi. It's a ninja. If it does combat damage to a player, the player exiles the top 2 cards. And you may play both those cards without paying their mana cost. I mean, it's fun, but a 4 mana ninjutsu in Modern is not really super exciting. The First Sliver Cascade. Cascade. Again, pretty fun, cool casual card. Don't think it's doing much other formats. I mean, if there's a 5-color Sliver deck, it could want this card, maybe. But, Good Fortune Unicorn. Whatever. Hogaric. Convoke and Delve. Can't spend mana on it. So you need to have 2 creatures in play and a graveyard. You can cast it from your graveyard. Powerful, weird card. I don't know what the hell you do with this card. And you can play it in Dredge. I don't know if you want to play it in Dredge, but like, you can cast this really easily. You just tap 2 Bloodghasts, cast it from your graveyard, and then delve away the cards you don't need. I just don't know if Dredge wants a card like this. Like, it's just super reliant on the graveyard. It doesn't fill any of the holes that Dredge already has. It's a powerful card. I don't know where it goes, but Baleful Strix. I mean, Ice Flang Cuddle. 1 flying flash, draw card, Death Touch for snow permanents. 3 other snow permanents. Flying Elvish Visionary for flash is pretty cool, but definitely needs snow cards to be good. It's an interesting one. Happy that it didn't print Baleful Strix. Baleful Strix is kind of obnoxious. A new Ninja of Deep Hours, basically. I know Shaheen Sarani is super high on Kaya's Guile. I'm not super high on it. 3 mana is a lot. Again, modal spells. Edict, exile your graveyard. Make a token, gain 4 life. It's just not a Modern playable card. None of these modes are Modern playable. I'm sorry. I'm just not buying this card at all. We have Kess now in non-foil. Thank God. I think foil-only cards are an abomination. Might see a little play in Modern as like a one-of in like Grixis decks. Cool card. Lava Belly Sliver. Enters battlefield, 1 damage target player, and you gain 1 life. It's 2/2 for 3. Lightning Skelemental. This is a card. I am sure we're going to play a deck on stream at some point that's 4 ball lightning, 4 groundbreaker, 4 this card, and just have some fun, like collect a company or something. But this card's obviously compares very favorably to ball lightning. This is a card. I think this card exists, honestly. Obviously, killing your opponent, making them discard cards is a little weird, because if they're dead, they can't use their cards anyway. But there's power here. There's definitely power here. I can't even talk about this card. Where's Gem Bomb Incinerator? Where's Goblin Ringleader? Look how angry I am. I'm throwing things. Yeah. Gem Bomb is good because you draw a card. It's fine, but this is no Gem Bomb Incinerator. I'm sad. Naturalized Disenchant. Love it. Reap the Past. Cute. Probably not playable in Modern. Rot Widow Pack. Cute. Limited card. Ruination Rider. When it dies, heavy deal damage. Any target. Number of land cards in your graveyard. Yeah, it's not really a card. Soul Herder. New Spirit. Whenever a creature is exiled from the battlefield, put a counter on it. Beginning of your end step, you may exile another target creature you control and then bring it back. So it's a flickerer that gets bigger when you flicker things. Also when you use sword to exile. Path to exile things as well. I'm not sure what you want to flicker in spirits, but it's an interesting card. Thundering Jan limited card. Unsettled Mariners is a magic card. It's a changeling bear that thalias things that target you or you control. You can see a thing. Ren and 6, definitely a cool card. 2-mana Planeswalker, doesn't seem overpowered. Does seem pretty powerful. It just +1 draw a card with fetch lands, which is already pretty good. And then it can pick off things for 1. Kaya has really impressed me for the ability to kill something again, and still be alive for a cheap cost. And Ren and 6 does that as well. So Ren and Stimpy here, pretty interesting card. Definitely a very powerful build around me card. A 2-mana Planeswalker that's actually good is a real deal, for sure. Morphin the Boundless. That is a commander card. I'm sure it's good. I don't even want to read it. Altered Dementia. Could be a combo piece, but it's kind of whatever. Limited card. Okay. Arkham's Astrolab. So now we're talking about these snow cards that want snow permanents. This is a magic card. 1 mana, put a snow permanent in play, draw a card, is pretty good. And the fact that it also fixes your mana is subtly good, because if you're trying to do snow stuff, you're probably playing on a basic lands. Therefore, your mana might not be great, and this card can make it great. So this card is very, very, very real. If there's enough snow payoffs, this is a real magic card. It also makes non-snow mana into snow mana. Yeah, I mean, it's a thing, but this makes that Marit Liege enchantment very doable. This is a very real magic card. Surprise. Birthing Bows, yeah, it's a limited card. Oh god, the untap mechanic is back. I can't even read that card. Fountain of Ichor, nothing to do with Phyrexian Dinosaurs. Sorry, everyone. Cute card. This card's cool. Just like an Isumaru for snow. So basic land Isumaru. This might go. I think I might have to add Snowlands to my cube. This is a cool card. I like it. Just Isumaru in any color is pretty nice. Probably not good enough for Modern. Maybe. It is a 2-mana. It is an Isumaru artifact creature. But I guess artifact lands don't cast it. Yeah, I'm not sure. Lesser Manticore is cute. I like it. Probably not good enough for Modern, but cool card. Mox Tantalite is embarrassingly bad. This card is completely unplayable. Completely unplayable. Scrapyard Recombiner. Modular 2, second artifact. Refer construct. Put it in your hand. Shuffle. Yeah, it's not great, I don't think. I'm sure it's playable in Vintage because of Mishra's Workshop, but the 2 new swords. I don't like the swords. I hate the swords. Protection is really annoying. destroy a planeswalker, and an artifact. Yeah, like these aren't really playable in Modern. They're too clunky. Unless Stoneforge Mystic gets unbanned. They're going to be putting the Modern cube, I mean the Magic Online cube too. It's going to be annoying. I like the swords that do things beyond their protection effects, like Sword of Fire and Ice, Sword of Feast and Famine. Those are the only two swords that are in my cube because their effects are really, really good, despite the protection. And the blue one is counter, and then proliferate. Enemy talismans. I don't know why. This just makes me happy. I'm just happy the talisman cycle is complete. That's all I have to say. Just happy. Very low chance of playability, but it's not unheard of. Universal Automaton, it's amusing. Cycling lands are obviously really cool. Obviously really, really cool to have always available with Life Malone and the Astral Slide. Just cool. Again, another fun tool to have in the toolbox. May not see a ton of play, but it's definitely cool to have. The Horizon Canopy lands.
Holy crap,
It does
dude.
piss me off. There's only 6 of them. That just really shimmies my jimmies or whatever. Just my OCD just goes bananas that there's only 6 cycling lands. Also, as far as cube design goes, it's really annoying as well. I can only imagine there'll be a Modern Horizons 2, which will contain the Horizon Canopy and the Allied Cycle as well. Seems a foregone conclusion at this point. But they're obviously very good. Canopy is one of the better lands in Modern, and now it's Canopy for all the colors. So I'm cool with that. Although obviously print Horizon Canopy as well. So these are very good. Not every deck wants them, but they are very, very good. Cave of Temptation. That's the card. Frostwalk Bastion. Creature land for snow stuff. A 2/3 for 2 activations. Not bad. It's a little worse than Treetop Village, but coming in untapped is very good. Is coming damage to a creature, tap that creature, doesn't untap. Yeah. It's a card. Probably not super worth it, but we have the white version of the Volrat Stronghold cycle. It's cool. We'll see play and fringe play occasionally. This card is a real Magic card. So in Legacy, you play Miracles with 1 Tundra and a bunch of basic lands. Flood Strand's your best land by a lot. Well, there you go. There's Flood Strands 5 through 8. Definitely a very real card. Also very real for any snow deck to find your snow basics if you're more than 2 colors. Or just 2 colors, honestly. Very good. It's amusing they would print another fetch land instead everyone hates fetch land so much. But this is a card for sure. Prismatic Vista. Definitely get your copies of this card. This card's going to go up in value nonstop forever. Very playable card in a lot of formats. Snowlands, I'll take my Ice Age versions, thank you very much. That's it. That's the whole set. So, a little underwhelming, honestly. I'm not super overwhelmed with the set. There are some cool cards. Some of the jokes don't hit for me. Some of the themes don't really hit for me. There are a lot of cool cards happening. Factor Fiction, Force Negation. I think anyone who expected this set to like blow Modern out of the water is just out of their mind. They're not going to shake up the format that much. The goal is to add a few fun elements, which they seem to do. I'm still very, very, very angry that there is no Goblin Ringleader. I'm going to write an angry letter to my congressman and see what I can do about that. But yeah, realistically, looks fun to draft. Add some cards to Modern. I give it a B. Overall, nothing crazy. Few cool cube cards. A lot of C's. Yeah, it's cool. Make Modern more expensive? I don't know about that. This is a regular printed set. Like this set's to order. It's not a master set. So there'll be a lot of these cards floating around, hopefully. Looks fun to draft, too. So, yeah, they might have played it safe this time a little bit. I agree. But yeah, so that's a set. That's a set review. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. And now we're going to play some Modern. So if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, of course, to my channel. Standard Modern, Legacy, card reviews, my Phantom Legends tournament. You name it, it's all on the YouTube. Check it out. Watching on Twitch, make sure you follow on there. That's to do it for the Modern Horizons impromptu set review. Up next, we're playing Jeskai Sahili in Modern. But all you folks watching on YouTube for the review, subscribe. I love y'all. Y'all great.